Oh, settle down and stop with the knocking. I'll be there in 2 shakes. Oh, dear. Professor? Is that you? Just a moment. Oh, what should I do? I can't open the door in this state. Manuela, you simply must quit oversleeping. Hold on. Where are my clothes? I can't even find my... Where in blazes is my underwear? Oh, What is my dressing robe belt caught on? I can't tie this properly. It's not even covering... Oh, Manuela. This will have to do. I'm fine. Just hold on a moment. Hello. Sorry to have kept you waiting. So, what do you want? Excuse me? You had a reason for coming here, I assume. I've put a lot of time and effort into making it possible to talk with you, you know. No, you've done nothing wrong. Let's just say I'm not having a good day. Actually, I didn't have a good night. Never mind. What did you want, anyway? You heard from him? The fellow from last night? Huh. What did he have to say? Yeah, figures. Kind of saw it coming, actually. That's why I came back to my room and went to bed. To get over it. Thank you for checking in on me. Was that all you wanted? Well then, good night. Professor, a pleasure to see you. I was here for confessional. Confessing my foolishness. While I'm at it, may I confess something to you too? I realize what a burden I've been. On you, I mean. After every breakup, I neglect my work, and I know how that affects you. I'm completely worthless as a woman. Can you imagine how that feels? Oh, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. I just know it. You think so too, don't you? I'd rather you disagree, even if you don't mean it. Lie to a woman when she's down and out, yeah? What's wrong with me? It's not my looks. I'm still gorgeous. Or am I? Be honest, do I look old? No, not possible. I'm the songstress who swept the Empire off its feet. Men professed their love for me hourly. It can't be my looks. You're right. Although, just fine is a bit... Well, it's better to be attractive than just fine. Oh no. If the problem isn't my looks, and they are not the problem, then it must be... what? My personality? I know you're trying to find a way to say it gently, but you think there's a problem, don't you? I suppose I can be a bit unkempt. I do have a short temper, and I may be a little lazy, sometimes. But I've always heard fellas, you know, like a woman with a few flaws. Seems to me there are plenty of flawed girls who have landed themselves a good man. So maybe my trouble is I'm not imperfect enough. Do you think I could use a few more flaws? Are you saying I'm perfect as I am? Come now, you'll make me blush. So I said, two can play at that game. I told him, a small-time little weasel like you ought to be begging me for attention. Oh, it gets me so mad, so worked up. Why aren't there any men around here who understand what a catch I am? Come to think of it, you've always been nice to me. I mean, you listen to all my problems. I feel like I can really trust you. I don't have that kind of thing with a lot of people. Right, I got it. I knew you'd say we were just friends. I'd like to maybe talk about this once the war is over. Once we're all safe. All right, enough of this moping around. What we need is a change of mood. We've still got a lot to do together. When I think about that, what are one or two men? What's wrong is, it's not just one or two men, it's more like 100 men, maybe even 200, more! I'm completely... Oh, I can't get out of this mood! Actually, I've got an idea. Exercise will help. I'm going to the training ground. Come on and give me a hand. Gonna work my anger out on 100 training dummies. Maybe 200 if we've got 'em. Oh, are you sure you should be here? There must be tons of young girls falling over themselves just to get near a hero like you. Or are you not interested in such attention? What? Not looking for romance, then? So that's why you never gave in, no matter how many times I tried. Listen, I get it. No need to explain anything. It's better this way. It means I wasn't the problem. Wait, am I the problem? I suppose if I had some charm, maybe you would have fallen for me. Oh, why does this always happen to me? I'm not surprised. You can probably have your pick. What? Have you gotten me confused with someone else? Look, you don't need to take pity on me, okay? Or... that's not it, is it? I can see it in your eyes. Nobody's looked at me that way in a long, long time. I sound like a schoolgirl, but this is the moment I've always dreamed of. So of course I'm going to mess it up by not knowing how to answer. Just give me a minute to compose myself. Okay. Come on, Manuela. Whew, that's better. So, my answer... Yes! Yes, I would love to marry you! I'm a complete mess, and I'll be a massive pain to you from now on. But in exchange for the trouble, I promise to give you all of my love. So don't let me down, you hear? You know, until this moment, I didn't realize how much my heart longed to call you my own. I want to love you, and to be loved by you. I want to share my life with you. And you really like that idea? Oh, oh goodness. Oh, I just giggled. Maybe I'm not as old as I tell myself. Or maybe you just make me feel good about myself, my darling. Oh, settle down and stop with the knocking. I'll be there in 2 shakes. Oh, dear. Professor? Is that you? Just a moment. Oh, what should I do? I can't open the door in this state. Manuela, you simply must quit oversleeping. Hold on. Where are my clothes? I can't even find my... Where in blazes is my underwear? Oh, What is my dressing robe belt caught on? I can't tie this properly. It's not even covering... Oh, Manuela. This will have to do. Oh. I would hope, Professor, that you have the decorum to pretend you've heard nothing. Anyway, I'll be just another moment. Patience, please. Hello. Sorry to have kept you waiting. So, what do you want? Excuse me? You had a reason for coming here, I assume. I've put a lot of time and effort into making it possible to talk with you, you know. No, you've done nothing wrong. Let's just say I'm not having a good day. Actually, I didn't have a good night. Never mind. What did you want, anyway? You heard from him? The fellow from last night? Huh. What did he have to say? Yeah, figures. Kind of saw it coming, actually. That's why I came back to my room and went to bed. To get over it. Thank you for checking in on me. Was that all you wanted? Well then, good night. Professor, a pleasure to see you. I've never been very good at praying. I was here to confess my foolishness. While I'm at it, may I confess something to you too? I realize what a burden I've been. On you, I mean. After every breakup, I neglect my work, and I know how that affects you. I'm completely worthless as a woman. Can you imagine how that feels? Oh, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. I just know it. You think so too, don't you? Really? So maybe there's still hope for me. Who am I kidding? I've known for years how hopeless I am. What's wrong with me? It's not my looks. I'm still gorgeous. Or am I? Be honest, do I look old? No, not possible. I'm the songstress who swept the Empire off its feet. Men professed their love for me hourly. It can't be my looks. I knew I was right. I'd be in real trouble if I weren't this beautiful. Oh no. If the problem isn't my looks, and they are not the problem, then it must be... what? My personality? A girl can tell a lie when she hears one. You think there's a problem, don't you? I suppose I can be a bit unkempt. I do have a short temper, and I may be a little lazy, sometimes. But I've always heard fellas, you know, like a woman with a few flaws. Seems to me there are plenty of flawed girls who have landed themselves a good man. So maybe my trouble is I'm not imperfect enough. Do you think I could use a few more flaws? Why? Do you think I'm flawed enough already? So I said, two can play at that game. I told him, a small-time little weasel like you ought to be begging me for attention. Oh, it gets me so mad, so worked up. Why aren't there any men around here who understand what a catch I am? Come to think of it, you've always been nice to me. If only you were a man. I mean, you listen to all my problems. I feel like I can really trust you. I don't have that kind of thing with a lot of people. I know. It's a real tragedy. I suppose this is what the goddess has ordained, so I'll accept it. All right, enough of this moping around. What we need is a change of mood. We've still got a lot to do together. When I think about that, what are one or two men? I can't stay calm when I'm like this. What's wrong is, it's not just one or two men, it's more like 100 men, maybe even 200, more! I'm completely... Oh, I can't get out of this mood! Actually, I've got an idea. Exercise will help. I'm going to the training ground. Come on and give me a hand. Gonna work my anger out on 100 training dummies. Maybe 200 if we've got 'em.
That song.
Oh, hello, Edelgard.
Professor Manuela, that song you were humming. I feel as though I've heard it before, long ago. And I'm sure it was you singing it back then. At the Opera House in the Imperial Capital, perhaps.
Why, yes. You must have seen me there. I am flattered you would remember it. I performed with the Mittelfranc Opera Company in Enbar on numerous occasions.
So it was you. I went to that performance with my uncle. I wanted desperately to see it again. But after that night, he took me to seek asylum in the kingdom. When I returned to the Empire several years later, you had already retired.
Oh, that's a shame. So you only got to hear me sing once?
Sadly, that's correct.
Yet you still remember it, even the melody of the song I sang. I'm honored.
That's how much of an impression your voice left on me. I must ask, why did you retire so soon? You could have continued for another 10 or 20 years.
Indeed. Many singers perform for decades. But that wasn't for me. I wanted to go out on top. My voice is a gift from the goddess. However, as all things do, it will decline with age. One day, I will lose that gift. And so I decided I needed to learn to survive without it, long before that day came. I needed to prove to myself that I can live on, even after my voice returns to the goddess.
So despite your belief in the goddess, you wish to live by your own strength?
It's hard for me to explain. The goddess supports me both spiritually and emotionally. Everything else is up to me.
Professor Manuela, may I come in? This room, what happened here?
Oh, nothing out of the ordinary. Why? Is something the matter?
No, I just... can I help you tidy up? Actually, I have to know. How did you make such a mess in the first place?
Please don't ask for the details. Suffice to say, my room always looks like this after I've been dumped.
Oh, right. Well, let's see what we can do about it.
Your help was unexpected, but appreciated, Edelgard. Now, what can I do for you?
I heard that you haven't been acting like yourself, so I came to see if you're doing all right. But the moment I saw you, I could tell you were troubled, so it seemed pointless to ask.
I suppose it was rather obvious, wasn't it? Perhaps I should stop being quite so dramatic. All the same, dear, I'd like to repay you for helping me out. Name your prize.
I don't need a reward, but if you wouldn't mind answering my question, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Of course. What is it?
I once asked you why you chose to retire. You said that the goddess supports you emotionally, but it's up to you to take care of the rest. I have to admit that I don't quite understand what you meant by that. Can you please explain?
Did I say that? I suppose so. From joining the Middle Franc Opera Company to becoming a diva of the grand stage. I went through so much to achieve what I did. Looking back, I don't know how I made it.
What happened during that time?
A lot. My divinely gifted voice only got me to the edge of the stage. From there, I had to work hard to defeat my rivals. I did all of this by myself, through sheer force of will. All so I could stand center stage.
Ah, I see I was wrong about something. I thought that being a devout believer implied a certain weakness of spirit, an inability to survive on your own. But you've proven me wrong, Professor Manuela.
Something on your mind, Edelgard? This may not be the best place to sit and think. An archer might try to take a lucky shot at you.
Right you are. I appreciate your concern. In here, I'm trapped in a whirlwind of political affairs. I just needed to escape for a moment to get some fresh air.
I understand completely. May I ask what was on your mind? I'd like to help.
To be honest, I still can't forget what you told me before. I don't want you to misunderstand and think I'm against everything the church represents. There's good there, buried in the corruption. Still, I find it extremely difficult to step back and accept the good, overlooking all the rest. For the world to start anew, it's necessary for the nobility system and the Church of Seiros to both be completely crushed.
Perhaps. I suppose that might be the only way for you to achieve your goals.
I believe so. But then I think about people like you, who are devoted to the goddess. People who are unlike the others, who are willing to fight for themselves rather than leaving everything in the hands of a higher power. When I achieve my aim, I'll be crushing your emotional and spiritual support. Yet despite all that, you're still here, still supporting me.
Don't worry yourself about that, Edelgard. People are always weaker than you think, but never as weak as you expect. The goddess is our silent foundation. She watches over our every step, but never gets directly involved. You, on the other hand, want to support us with your own flesh and blood, to push us forward toward a better future. As it were, some problems require drastic measures. I believe you know that better than anyone. It takes strength to take those measures. That's why you inspire people. You're probably why some of them get out of bed in the morning.
You're too kind.
Now, I've just been around a bit longer than you, that's all. While we're on the subject, yes, the goddess does supply me with emotional support. But so do you, whether you know it or not.
What do you mean by that?
Just what I said, my dear. Just what I said.
Now I'm blushing. Let's change the subject, shall we?
As you wish. I think I've said quite enough as it is.
My princess is lovely. My princess is fair. She sings like cicadas in midsummer's air.
Cicadas? Those noisy little bugs that swarm about, endlessly mingling with one another?
Oh, good point. I will revise. My princess is lovely. My princess is fair. She sings like a swallow in midsummer's air.
Migrating birds. Never sticking around for long. Always off to find love somewhere else.
No, what I meant was,
Oh, Ferdinand, you're just not yourself today. You don't seem focused. Your poetry lacks poetry. Perhaps a break is in order.
I would not dream of stopping now. This is my golden opportunity.
Pardon me?
We are finally alone. Just the two of us.
Why, yes, we are, aren't we?
You see, Manuela, I have long admired you.
Is that a fact?
I saw you perform countless times while you were with the opera company.
Oh, I see. So what did you think?
The figure you cut, that heartbreaking voice, I was mesmerized. That is why I am tongue-tied. I am nervous about speaking to you alone, after idolizing you for so long.
There's no need to be nervous, Ferdinand. That songstress you recall is long gone. I get nervous too, you know. But I want you to feel relaxed around me. Understood?
Yes, yes, I promise to try.
You're really full of surprises, you know that? I assumed you'd be more interested in combat than the arts. Come and chat sometime? I'd love to hear more about how my performances mesmerized you. Let's see. Has to be here somewhere.
Oh, my princess! Pray tell, are you seeking a book?
Ferdinand, you should probably settle down a little with the princess talk. Just speak to me normally. My princess days are long gone.
I could not disagree more. To me, you will always be that dazzling songstress, that veritable princess of the opera. From ages 5 to 11, I never missed a single one of your performances. Seeing you on stage was like glimpsing heaven. I was overcome with bliss.
You're going a little overboard, and I think I may have something in my eye.
An elegant coalescence of beautiful song and frenetic swordplay. That was the most memorable aspect for me. On stage, weapon in hand, letting your ballads soar to the heavens. Honestly, the first time I held a sword, it was not to train. I was trying to do your sword dance.
I inspired your love of weaponry? How flattering.
Correct. It is all thanks to you.
Oh, come now. Although I'm honored if my stage presence had any such influence on your life.
The honor is all mine. You blessed me by returning to my life. No matter where I go, or who I end up marrying, my childhood memory of you is inscribed in the deepest depths of my heart. Is something the matter?
Oh, nothing. I just feel a little empty inside now.
How the crimson rain of pain it came, falling hard upon a land aflame, when the sacred blade it split the sky until the heavens heard our cry. In the hour of vengeance will you heed the call? On the red fields of revenge will you help avenge? We must fight strong and stand tall.
Oh, Ferdinand, that song.
Manuela, hello. What a treat. It is most rare to see you at the training grounds. I have never had the honor of sparring with a princess. Why not grab a sword?
Ferdinand, that's called changing the subject. That song you were singing, is it the one you said made such an impression on you?
So you heard me. I hope it was not too grating on your ears.
You've nothing at all to be embarrassed about. I'm pleased if one of my songs stayed with you like that. Oh, it really takes me back. I remember the big battle in the first act. How the crimson rain of pain it came, falling hard upon a land of flame, when the sacred blade it split the sky, until the heavens heard our cry. In the hour of vengeance, will you heed the call? On the red fields of revenge, will you help avenge? We must fight strong and stand tall. Wow. My heyday is behind me. That's for sure.
No, that was wonderful. Exactly the voice I recall from my childhood. To have witnessed this performance in such an intimate setting, I am deeply moved. I cannot stop trembling. I feel as though I am going to cry. You have shaken me to my very core.
All right, Ferdinand, relax. I can see that it's affected you deeply.
You made a little boy's cherished dream come true. Perhaps you can help realize one more.
Another one? And what would that be?
Would you do the sword dance with me? The one that accompanied the song? It had a part for a male performer, if I recall. I would be truly honored.
I'm sure I can't do it as well now as I could then, but you're just so adorably... you. I can't resist.
Thank you so much. That has long been a dream of mine, and you made it a reality.
I gotta say, Ferdinand, you're full of surprises. It was like dancing with a pro. Perfect timing, always in step.
All thanks to you. You inspired me.
Or perhaps it was you who inspired me.
Professor Manuela, it's been far too long since we've had a proper chat. Let's fix that right now.
Too true, Dorothea. We hardly have a moment to spare here. But it's so nice to see you flourishing. It certainly brings back memories. You know, somehow you've gotten even prettier. The years have been kind to you.
That's something like a rose telling a daisy it's pretty, but I appreciate the compliment all the same.
Oh, honey, if that's the case, I hope you'll work hard to never become a rose like me. Too many thorns.
Oh, stop it. You've accomplished a great deal. You should be proud.
That's a very nice sentiment, and I appreciate it. Thank you. So, I've been dying to know, how did you come to be enrolled here? I know you didn't have any family connections. How'd you do it?
Well, it did require pulling some noble strings. But learning everything to pass the entrance exams, that was all me, and very hard. Especially while I was still singing for the opera. But I wanted the academy more than anything else.
Well, bravo, and well done. You've always had to find your own way in life, haven't you? I so wish you could rely on people more often. Still, though, you haven't said why you worked so hard to get into Garreg Mach to begin with.
Isn't it obvious? Because you were here. When you retired, it broke my heart. But it also woke me up. Seeing someone like you, who shined so brightly on the stage, give it all up and start a brand new life. It got me thinking about my own future, and what I wanted it to look like. As ever, I followed your lead.
Oh my. I don't know what to say.
I had also heard that the heirs to the Alliance, Empire, and the Kingdom were all enrolling this year. With such an exceptional crop of potential spouses, how could I go anywhere else?
And have you gotten what you were after? Your dreams, a future, and a good partner?
I'm sure I'll find my somebody someday, but I haven't found them yet. It's so nice to spend time with you again, Manuela. It's been too long.
head is pounding. You'd think I'd get used to this. Oh.
Manuela? Oh my goodness, you look terrible. Don't get up, I'll get you some water. I should fluff up those pillows for you. It will make you more comfortable.
I'm completely hopeless. I was so proud of being the reason you came to Garrigmach. Dorothea wanted to follow in my footsteps. How great is that? I thought I'd use that as an inspiration to straighten myself out. Be less of a, you know, less of a disgrace. But here I am, right in front of you, dealing with the worst hangover I've had in weeks.
You thought you'd hide this from me?
Wait, you mean you knew?
Even when you were still with the opera company, you had quite the reputation. There was a joke that you could outdrink a fish and the sailor who caught it.
Dorothea, my brain's pounding as it is. Please, stop. It's all true. But I can't handle hearing it from you, the girl I thought I had inspired to greatness. I can't believe I tried so hard to be a good example for you when you knew all along. I should leap into the ocean and drown.
Don't say that. You've not lost a bit of respect from me. Not one bit. Everyone has their faults, and some have more than others, but you were the finest songstress the opera had ever seen. And you've taught me well. What I mean to say is, you're my inspiration. I really do admire you.
Thank you, Dorothea. That means a lot. Dorothea? You look as if something's terribly wrong.
I do? Oh, nothing's wrong. Not really. I've just been thinking about the future. And what happens when the war is over.
And tell me, what is your vision of the future like?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I guess I don't know what to expect. In my life, I've met all sorts of people who've lived lots of different ways. So now I'm trying to figure out how I want to live. I'm free, unlike so many people. I have the ability to take control of my own fate. Like you.
Well, I quit the opera to join the Officers' Academy as a professor. Then I joined this war because, well, I don't know. I'm hoping for an end to it. Peace for the world. Even though I took control of my own fate, I still haven't found the man of my dreams.
You'll find him. He's out there somewhere. You know, there is one thing I want for the future.
So, you've got a dream after all.
Well, it's a dream I've always had. You'll think this is silly, but I'd like to stand beside you.
I don't get it.
When you left the opera company, I took your place. I stood center stage and sang, and everyone cheered for me. I wish the cheers were for me and you. I wish we stood on that stage together.
I have to tell you something. The first time I saw you on stage, I felt you were the one I wanted to hear sing. I already had plans to leave the opera company, but when I met you, I knew I couldn't leave until I saw you take your rightful place. You're right, though. It would have been nice to stand beside you on stage, even just once.
Maybe we weren't together then, but we're together here, now. And in the future, maybe it won't be so bad if you never find that man of your dreams.
What do you mean by that?
You and me. I won't find a guy either. We can just be together. I think that'd be pretty nice, don't you? Living together and doing whatever we want.
Huh. You know, that could be nice. It'd be like you and me, finally together on stage. The lights shining down, our gowns and jewels sparkling. Just us.
Sparkling in the stage lights forever.
Ugh, my head. Why am I here instead of the infirmary? When did I... Oh boy.
How are you feeling, Professor Manuela?
Sylvain? What do you need at this hour?
You don't remember? Well, you collapsed in the infirmary and...
That doesn't sound like me. Wait, no, I remember. The truth is, something sad happened. So I did what I always do to forget my troubles.
Anyway, I found you passed out on the floor, helped you up, then carried you back here.
And what were you doing in the infirmary late at night? Not bringing a girl there, I hope.
Nope, I was definitely alone. I just had a bad feeling and I decided to look around to see if anyone needed my help.
Ugh, my poor head.
Are you all right? Here, have some water.
What a thoughtful young man you are. You're a real gentleman, compared to that jerk who just...
That good-for-nothing guy who strung you along, whispered sweet nothings in your ear, then shattered your heart beyond repair? I agree. He's a jerk.
Oh no. Did I say those things to you?
Actually, your version had more details. Very detailed details.
Oh dear.
You know, Professor, you're a good catch. It's a shame that you've had no luck with men. You need a guy like me. Somebody who sees your beauty and appreciates how tender you are, emotionally, and how much love you have to give.
You're a smooth talker, even when you don't mean what you say. I'm going to change, so shoot, okay?
Sure, I can take a hint. Rest up, Manuela.
Thank you, Sylvain. I'm going to try and get some sleep. Did he just call me Manuela and not Professor? That sly little... Although... Me? With Sylvain? Now there's a crazy thought. I must admit that Sylvain is quite handsome. And it doesn't hurt that he's heir to a noble family. I could get used to that kind of life. The age difference bothers me a bit, but I'm sure it would be fine after a few years. At first, it was hard to imagine myself with him, but now that I've thought about it, maybe... Speak of the devil. I think that's him over there.
What a jerk. He was playing around with me that whole time.
You know, you're a good catch. It's a shame that you've had no luck with men. You need a guy like me, somebody who sees your beauty and appreciates how tender you are, emotionally, and how much love you have to give.
What? No way. What are you saying? Can't even tell if you're being honest.
Do I look dishonest? Are these the eyes of a guy who's just playing around?
No, I suppose not. Would you like to go somewhere a little more quiet?
As long as it's just the two of us, and the only subject is love, I'll follow you anywhere.
Okay, that was just repulsive. He is insincerity personified. No way I'd ever fall for that. He is handsome and does come from good stock. But no, I can't imagine we'd have a bright future together. I suppose the goddess does not give with both hands, does she? Wait, could that mean, because of my looks and my singing voice, that I'll never find true love? Please, goddess, I'm begging you. Ah, Lorenz, do you have a moment to spare, my dear?
Hello, Professor Manuela. I trust all is well with you.
I am quite well, thank you for asking. You are always such a gentleman.
Thank you for saying so. How may I be of service?
I was wondering if we might spend a little time together, maybe chat a bit?
Certainly. It is an honor to speak with someone as elegant as yourself. I've just made tea. Would you like a cup?
Oh, that would be just lovely. Lorenz, I hope you won't think it too forward of me, but I was wondering if you could explain a poem to me. It goes like this. Verdant rains soothe my aching heart like a cherished friend. Amid time's flow I mourn, bonds I'm not sure I can ever rend. As my mind clings to desperate thoughts, here it comes, horsebow moon and summer's end.
Oh, that's my poem.
As I suspected, I've checked absolutely everyone's handwriting. It's a sad poem, though, isn't it? Feels lonely, possibly even, dare I say, defeated. What makes you feel that way, Lorenz? Why aren't you happy? I very much want to know.
Well, I suppose Wait, why are you reading my poetry? Where did you even get that?
I found it, and when I saw the words, I read them. Well, that's what people do when they see words. They read them.
Kindly return that at once. Reading someone else's work without permission. What an egregious breach of etiquette. Honestly.
Oh, dear. Snatching at something someone else is holding. How violent. It's not like you to lose your composure, Lorenz.
Please, just forget you ever saw it. I beg you.
I'm afraid I could never forget that peek into the darkness of your soul. Nor would I want to.
Then at the very least, would you kindly promise not to mention it to anyone else?
Don't feel embarrassed. No. Be proud. It's a lovely piece of writing. Quite revealing. I'd never guess you'd have such hidden depths. Tell me more.
That's quite enough.
Oh, that's absolutely adorable. So bashful. I simply must hear more of his poetry sometime soon.
Is that Professor Manuela? Her voice is every bit as fine as you might expect from the former leader of the Middle Franc troupe. Oh, if it weren't for her drinking and her woefully inadequate manners, she would fit right in with high society. Wait a minute.
As my mind clings to desperate thoughts, here it comes, horsebow moon and summer's end.
That's my... Oh no. No, no, no!
Oh, Lorenz! I heard you shout. Are you okay?
The poem! My poem! Forget it, I said! I asked you for one thing!
And I told you it would be impossible for me to forget.
Certainly, I understand. But setting it to music, and now singing it?
Oh, yes. It makes for a beautiful song, doesn't it? I'm feeling so lonely and blue. My dearest has left. He has gone far away, and I'm here, all alone. And in my sadness, your poem, well, it became a song for me to sing. It brought me a moment of happiness.
I do not know who spurned you, but I assure you my poem has nothing to do with any such feelings. It is getting late. We should both turn in. I will take my leave now.
Oh, I understand. You're leaving me too. Why? Am I too old to matter?
No, I never said any such thing. Why, I am sure there are plenty of men who would prefer a mature woman such as yourself.
Mature, he says. I knew it. You're all the same, you know. No one sees the person behind the voice. They just see me older today than yesterday. They say, oh, look what happened to her. Nobody sees my frustration, my resignation to be forever alone. But you do. It's all right there in your poem.
Please, I assure you, my poem was not about that at all. It was actually about the ideal of nobility. The sentiment is that someday I know I will get what I want. There is no resignation in it, as you seem to be suggesting.
Lorenz. I was sure the poem was more about someone lamenting their frailty and the loneliness of time's passing. But that's not it at all, is it? This is the story of someone impatient to get ahead, who is afraid they'll never make it.
The speaker in the poem does lament his shortcomings. The road to reach his ideal is long. It is a trial, a test. If he can just find his way through it, he knows he can move forward. So I think you should try to move forward too. Because with a voice as talented as yours, how could you possibly fail?
Lorenz, someday you should let me sing this song in public. I think people who are battling through their own trials, they might find comfort in this. And I believe I'm the only one who can do your work justice.
Very well. You have my assent. On the condition that you do not attach my name to it. Now, permit me to retire for the night. I require ample rest to maintain an adequate level of polish, you know. I suppose, if my poem must be set to music, then it had best be done by such a talented singer.
As my mind clings to desperate thoughts, here it comes, horsebow, moon, and summer's end. Did you hear me just now? What did you think?
Marvelous, as though sung by the goddess herself. Enchanting, heartrending, your voice truly captivates all who hear. It is as though you channel all the emotion and human experience of your life into the music.
Well, I guess I have my fair share of life experience, so long as you're not implying I'm old.
No, that is not... I mean to say that you skillfully applied your own interpretation in the music.
Interpretation? When I sing, I am not interpreting. I'm scarcely thinking at all. I simply yield my heart to the poetry, and the emotion follows naturally.
I believe that is what they call genius. I hope you will permit me to listen again. I would like to hear it up close next time.
Of course. Next time I'll perform a private show. Just the two of us.
You mock me.
Never. I wasn't mocking you. In fact, I'd like to see some more of your poetry.
My poetry? Why?
I'd like to use it for another song. I promise that when it's done, you'll be the first to hear.
Please, my poetry is merely an idle pursuit.
That doesn't matter. The words are unadorned, the feelings so direct. Your poems have touched my heart. They are so true to life.
I suppose there is a certain appeal in the portrayal of such dark emotions, even if it is a bit graceless. Very well. Take this. You may use any of the poems I've finished working on.
Oh my, I can hardly wait. Is this the next part of the poem I was singing just now?
Yes. I wrote that after I heard you sing the first part. I had nearly given up on it, to be honest, but your music gave me the inspiration to continue. Though it is still quite unpolished and not at all ready for a broader readership, I feel.
Unpolished? No, Lorenz. It's beautiful. Thank you. To think that my voice inspired you, yet it's you who inspires my voice. I'm so excited to start a new song.
Yes, please do.
Manuela, a moment?
Oh, hello, Seteth. I must apologize, but I'm quite busy. Perhaps we could talk another time?
I have already confirmed that you have no urgent business.
I would like to hear your explanation now.
My explanation? For what?
Allow me to be more specific. Where were you, and what were you doing last night?
Oh, my dear Seteth. You must relax that worried brow. Those forehead creases will ruin your beauty.
Just answer the question, please.
What question is that? The one you already know the answer to? Last night I had a bit of fun and a bit of drink. Less of one and more of the other, sure, but...
How much you drink is not my concern. But you are an adult who is tasked with the supervision of children. You should not be causing trouble for the students. It is unacceptable for you to expose them to your disgraceful behavior. Even more so to impose upon them the labor of cleaning up your mess.
Oh, don't oversell it. All they did was walk with me back to my room.
From what I hear, you had to be carried.
I'd like to think I'd remember that. If it happened, and it probably didn't, it's not as if I'm heavy. Nobody hurt themselves. Did they? Come on, Seteth. Loosen up. If you're so worried about how I'll behave, why don't you join me for a drink sometime? I mean, I only get in trouble when I drink alone.
If it will help to improve your behavior, I would not object to accompanying you from now on.
Well, that sounds just delicious. What are you doing tonight, around...
But first I will lecture you on all of the intricacies of proper behavior in the supervision of children. And until I am done, you will not drink a drop of alcohol. If you agree to those conditions, I will join you. I will even drink with you. Alcohol has little effect on me.
That is just... You know, getting lectured by you is... Well, I think the word is torture. Yes, that's it. Torture. And I won't have it. I'm going to go get a drink and try to forget this ever happened.
How is it that you imagine yourself the tortured one? It seems I'm not the only one here. Manuela?
Oh, Seteth. Hello.
This is quite the surprise. I would not expect to find you here outside of ordinary prayer time.
Praying? No, I was just resting. Whenever I'm in the infirmary, I simply cannot get out of doing work. I need a place to sit and close my eyes.
There is no need to hide it. It is obvious you were praying quite solemnly just now.
No, I was just enjoying some old memories. That's all. In fact, I was just thinking about when my parents first brought me here as a child. I wandered off from my parents because I heard a beautiful voice. It was a woman, singing, somewhere just out of sight. I began to sing along, hoping she would hear me and that we might meet. I never found her, whoever she was. Yet, it was she who taught me I could sing.
Interesting. I'd never heard that. But I suppose if you were only a child, this would be before I arrived at Garreg-Mach. In any case, if that singing voice helped you find your way, then that is a wonderful thing.
I've never told anyone else, but I believe it was the goddess I heard. And that day, she gifted me my singing voice. And I thank the goddess for leading me back here after I left the opera company.
You know, when you speak of the goddess in this way, it is as though you are an entirely different person. If you were to behave that way more in your daily life, I would have a much higher opinion of you.
Oh, that's very sweet, coming from you, Seteth. Should I take that to mean that you like your ladies pious and respectable?
One little compliment and you completely lose control of yourself. What am I to do with you?
Oh, it's a joke. Look, I'm just no good at serious conversations. Although, I would be lying if I said I wasn't interested in knowing what kind of woman does get your attention.
As thanks for the touching tale you have shared, I will satisfy your curiosity just this once. My preferred woman is kind, quiet, and proper. But above all else, she is straightforward and honest.
Quiet. Proper. There's no need to be cruel, Seteth. Seteth?
Hello, Manuela. Is something the matter?
You surprised me is all. Though not as surprised as you when you found me here before. I've never seen you offering up prayers so solemnly.
I suppose I do typically make an effort to come here when no one else is around. Many look to me for guidance. I do not wish to disturb anyone's prayers with my own. But I did not come here only to pray.
Really? Then what were you doing?
I was swearing an oath to Saint Seteth. She is a special figure to me. It's become part of my routine to swear this oath before her likeness. More than any other, she wishes for a peaceful world. I believe it is my duty to grant her wish.
I had no idea you held such a passionate secret devotion, Seteth. The legends of Saint Seteth do depict her as a kind, proper, and honorable woman. And she was so gentle and quiet, really kept to herself. It's no wonder you're infatuated with her.
I think you may have misunderstood me.
It must be very lonely to be so in love with someone from the distant past.
She is very special to me, yes, but not in that way.
You don't have to hide it from me, Seteth. I can keep a secret. But people from the past are gone. No matter how much you care for her, she can't love you back. Now then, if you turned your eyes to me, I could respond to your deepest, most powerful feelings.
You are completely mistaken. Manuela, about what we discussed earlier with regard to Saint Seteth, I feel the need to correct your misapprehensions.
Oh, I won't expose your passion to the light of day. I told you I can keep a secret.
That's not it at all. How can I make you see? I suppose there is no other way. Allow me to tell you a very old story.
What kind of story? Is it about your past? Because there's a story I could enjoy hearing.
I once had a wife. She passed from this world a very long time ago. She was wise, kind of heart, and always smiling. A most wonderful woman. Not long after we married, we were blessed with a child. A girl.
You had a wife and a daughter? Why would you have kept that secret?
To protect my daughter. That has been my foremost concern ever since I had the misfortune to lose my wife. It is my daughter who resembles Saint Seteth. That is why I make my oath to this statue.
Your story doesn't sound right to me. I don't mind saying it.
Why is that?
When you talked about your ideal woman before, your description was almost exactly Saint Seteth. Now you're telling me your daughter is a perfect match?
It is not an exact resemblance. My daughter, for instance, is neither proper nor quiet. In any case, even in matters of love, an ideal seldom lives up to reality. That is the way of the world.
Do it again. Say, the way of the world with a serious face. You're so stern and proper, but you really can be quite funny. I love a man who can make me laugh.
My wife used to say the same thing. I never quite understood what was so funny.
I sound like your late wife? Don't tell me. I actually resemble her, don't I? Mirror image, I bet.
Absolutely not. Though... no, unthinkable.
The way you say it, I suppose I must resemble her a little. Well, isn't that an honor? Say, Seteth, have you ever considered remarrying? You know, just so you're not alone?
It is not a thought that has ever crossed my mind. I have been too preoccupied with fatherhood.
It's been a long time since your wife passed, right? You should start thinking about it. There could be someone who finds you handsome, someone close by, maybe even right in front of you.
Whatever you said just now, I didn't quite hear. But to remarry, I'd never even considered it an option until you brought it up just now. My daughter will not want to remain by my side forever. Perhaps it is time I thought about it.
I'd be happy to help you mull it over if you like. How about tonight? We could go out for a drink.
Are we back to this again? Very well. Just see that you do not drink too much. I would rather not have to carry you home.
Hello, Professor Manuela. I wish you to know that I have heard ever so much about your talents.
Whatever are you talking about, Flayn?
Singing! Why, you are wonderfully skilled at it, are you not? Why, I have even overheard people saying your voice is akin to the singing of a goddess.
It makes me happy to hear. But who told you that?
Oh, the students are always speaking of it, which got me to thinking, I may be the only person in all of the Academy who's never heard your beautiful voice in song. So, I was wondering, Manuela, might you sing a little something for me?
Your request is touching, but I can't perform on such short notice. My voice is an instrument and requires proper gentle care. However, the stories are true. I was once the leader of the Middle Franc troupe, but that was a long time ago.
Middle Franc? What do those words mean precisely?
You've never heard of the Middle Franc troupe? It's the single most popular opera company in the Imperial capital. I used to sing on stage with them. I was the star, in fact.
Oh, wow. In all of Enbar? They must not have been around when I was living there.
You used to live in Enbar?
Indeed. Although I was quite a bit younger at the time. It is where I was born, as a matter of fact.
Oh, well, you must have been too young to hear about us.
Yes, that could be. And what precisely is the function of an opera troupe?
You don't know what an opera troupe is? Well, it's a group of performers like myself who act out stories on stage in front of a big audience. Stories with lots of singing.
Oh, I understand now. I certainly have experience in the fine art of storytelling. There is often singing as a part of story time for the children at the monastery.
That is darling, Flayn. But I'm not sure it's quite the same thing as an opera. You see, operas are performed in grand theaters with orchestral accompaniment. Everyone attending wears their finest. It is a very special occasion.
Theaters, they're called? You mean to say that there are buildings exclusively used for telling stories?
You've never even heard of a theater? You're an intelligent girl, Flayn, and the world is full of wonders. You have a lot left to discover.
Hello, Manuela. I was just wondering, what was it like back when you were involved with that opera troupe? Your life must have been quite different from how it is here, I imagine.
My, how bold to ask an adult about their private life. I'll humor you, though. A diva's life is only glamorous while she's on stage. The rest of her time is consumed by grueling training. Just days and days of practicing, beginning at sunrise, with barely a moment to rest from one performance to the next. Then, once the performances begin, you're on stage for 3 shows a day. Absolutely exhausting. Is that anything like you imagined?
It sounds like a world all its own. Thank you. I find the topic fascinating. What sort of roles did you tend to be cast in? As the lead performer, did you play the part of a princess much? Oh, I can only imagine how illustrious that would be.
Yes, I was a princess once or twice. And it was quite something, let me tell you. All those royal jewels and flowing gowns. And they didn't just give me the pretty clothes to wear because I was beautiful, you know. I had to fight and claw my way into every role. But once I was there on stage, singing my solo, and all eyes were on me, it was worth it. I was rewarded for every one of my countless hours of practice. And the cheers when I finished a song, the applause. Oh, I can't properly explain it, but I can tell you, it's an experience I will cherish until the day I die.
Wondrous. It all sounds so very glamorous. Despite how rigorous a schedule you kept, it sounds like the hard work was worth those fleeting moments on stage. Mine has always been a quiet life. It is hard not to feel a twinge of envy, hearing such stories from you.
There's a lot to be said for the quiet life. It was never for me, of course. Still, I hear it's a pretty good deal for a lot of other folks. The thing is, Flayn, well, you always have to remind yourself that if a place shines brighter than anywhere else, its shadows will be darker too.
What do you mean?
Nothing. It's a thing I hope you never come to understand. You know what? The next time you visit, I'll tell you all about the time I played a beautiful princess, and about the handsome prince she fell in love with.
Oh, please! I would love to hear all about it! Manuela, do you recall what you told me? You mentioned that if a place shines brighter than anywhere else, then its shadows will be darker too.
You sound so worried. That was nothing, dear. Call it a joke.
It most certainly did not sound like a joke. Can you please elaborate? Of course, I love hearing about your glamorous past performing on stage. But all that glamour doesn't account for the shadows you spoke of.
Well, I suppose I could share a little. Here's the thing about the opera. Talent isn't enough to earn you a position in a glamorous show. You need money, connections, and, failing those, the stomach to commit a spot of violence. I spent many nights buttering up nobles in power. No matter how humiliating the task, I'd do it because I wanted to be a star. I hope that kind of talk isn't too shocking for a sweet girl like yourself. Are you disillusioned with me, now that you know my sordid past?
Not at all. Understanding you more deeply, I can see how much strength has been required of you all this time.
Flayn.
I am well aware that survival and striving for dreams sometimes means doing things we would not normally do. Perhaps because you have been so strong, lived with such conviction. Perhaps that is why your songs have touched so many people's hearts.
Oh, you sound very wise all of a sudden. Thank you, Flayn.
I would like to rescind my original request of you.
Your request to hear one of my songs?
Indeed. Instead, I have a different request. I would like to see you perform an opera on stage.
I don't know about that. It's been a long time since I stood on stage.
I imagine you have experienced much since you left the opera company. It follows then that you have developed new insights, charm, and wisdom to share.
Yes, I probably could play a tragic role even better now than I could back then. But it's hardly the time for operas. We need to put an end to this war first.
Agreed. Let us make the curtain fall on this war as soon as possible.
Maybe then we can raise the curtain on a brand new performance. That'd be something, wouldn't it?
That is exactly what I yearn for.
Oh.
Manuela, isn't it a bit rude to sigh at someone the moment you see them enter the room?
Hanneman, isn't it a bit rude to tell others how to behave? Besides, I could be sighing about any number of things more interesting than you.
Goodness, you're unusually irritable today. Don't you imagine your attitude a bit excessive? You snap at every little thing, your ill mood on display for one and all. It saddens me to see such behavior from one who should be setting a good example for the younger generation.
Well, listen to the noble lecturing a lowly commoner to be on her best behavior. Oh, wait, I meant to say the former noble.
I fail to understand how my birth is relevant to the topic at hand. I was merely trying to say that as a fellow adult...
You're not done lecturing yet? Leave me alone and go pester someone else. Maybe leave everyone alone and go focus on your precious crest research.
I don't know what to say to you, Manuela. I was only speaking out of honest concern.
Oh, was that a sigh I heard? Isn't it a bit rude to sigh at someone just because?
Don't be so childish. You are so sensitive to ill will from others, yet you let your own emotions run wild. Why is it that you cannot keep a handle on yourself?
Keep a handle on? Well, I've never. What makes you think you're so much better? Just because you keep your emotions bottled up behind your stupid, stony face. Well, it doesn't mean everyone else has to do the same. Stop telling everyone how to behave, Hanneman. It will make you and the rest of us much happier.
I will not stand for this insolence. It is high time someone taught you.
Go on! If you think you can change me, I'd like to see you try. Ha! Thought so. You wouldn't dare.
Absolutely insufferable. Manuela, I would like to apologize. The other day, I said some things to you that I am, well, not proud of in the least.
Oh no, Hanneman. It is I who should be apologizing. I behaved in just the most dreadful manner. I was just lashing out at everything. You were right to call me out. Really, and I do very much mean this. I'm so sorry for my behavior.
No, please, pay it no mind. Actually, I'm thankful for what you said during our conflict.
Thankful?
Yes, you made me realize that I have a somewhat meddlesome nature. Thanks to you, I believe I found an area in which I can improve myself.
I could say the same thing, you know. Your accusations, they really hit home. After I cooled down, I realized you were right. I really ought to try and keep my emotions a bit more under control.
Well, that's good to hear. It seems this wasn't a fruitless clash for either of us.
Oh, indeed. There's nothing more depressing than a pointless fight, is there? Don't you wonder, though, just how many times we've had this same argument?
We do always seem to be at one another's throats before we even realize it. I don't know how we manage to keep it up.
You're not wrong. Something the matter, Hanneman?
Well, it's just... you don't smile like that very often. But when you do, it is quite charming. Perhaps your struggles in love are due to your reliance on false affection, instead of your more natural charms.
Well, thank you for the compliment. Even if you did have to spoil it with criticism. If you weren't so judgmental all the time, maybe you'd have had more luck in romance yourself.
What? Manuela, as your friend, I was only trying to give you a useful bit of advice.
And that so-called advice is exactly why I call you meddlesome and overbearing. And
There it
there's
is.
Hanneman, who said
Manuela
he was going
begins to
stop being
protest
so
even when she
meddlesome.
knows the fault lies.
You keep doing things that aren't called for. It's driving me batty.
You presuppose I am only thinking of you.
Oh, let's just not do this, shall we? I don't know why we always end up fighting.
It can hardly be helped. You and I seem opposed to one another on a, let's call it, an instinctual level. Perhaps this could even be considered a form of fate.
What an awkward fate to have. I'd like you a lot more if I just hated you. All this fighting and making up is just exhausting.
Agreed, yes. It does feel as if we have fallen into a rather tiresome bit of repetition.
What a waste of effort. We're absolutely hopeless, the both of us. Here's a thought. Couples who are similar to one another, share the same views and all that, they're pretty successful. But complete opposites work together too. Surprisingly well sometimes. They compensate for each other's weaknesses, and they support one another. Then I look at how hard we work just to avoid screaming at each other, and I don't buy it.
Don't be so hasty to dismiss your own hypothesis. For instance, I am apt at cleaning, but have no talent for cookery, whilst you loathe cleaning, but are a splendid chef. Would it not be an easier life if, rather than struggle through our weaker areas, we divided the work?
I suppose our differences do have their advantages that way.
Indeed. If we combine our abilities, housework would be conquered and dinner rendered delicious. There are other ways we could find to support one another, I would imagine. We might make a better pair than you think. You and I, together.
You might be onto something. You and I could be pretty good together. Wait, why are we talking about this? Are you trying to propose marriage with promises of clean floors? You think I'm that easy of a catch? Honestly.
I did no such thing. You were the one who started discussion on the topic in the first place. You were agreeing
so this
with
is
me.
my fault
If you
now?
have
I
objections,
never said
then
a
let's
word
hear
about
them.
Is that singing?
The blue sea glimmers in the dark. The red canyon calls. Goddess, reach in dreams. To her throne she falls. Well, Gilbert, what do you think?
My lady, you were not meant to notice me.
Nobody could miss a good man like you.
My apologies for interrupting. Please excuse me.
No, Gilbert, hold on a moment. You're not disturbing me, truly. I want very much to know what you thought of my singing. The least you can do is tell me.
You were lovely. You sounded lovely.
Lovely? Is that what you really feel? Please, be honest.
Why would you suppose I was dishonest?
That is not the look of someone who just heard what they deem to be lovely. It hurts my confidence when my voice can't even lure a fleeting smile to your face. It's as though my singing voice has died since stepping off the Middle Franc stage.
My Lady Manuela, That could be no further from the truth.
If that's the case, then Gilbert, I challenge you to a duel. My singing versus your iron mask. I will break through, and I will see passion in your eyes.
Why did she leave so suddenly? And what could she have meant by a duel? Something is surely troubling her.
The blue sea glimmers in the dark. The red canyon calls.
Oh.
Goddess, reach in dreams. To her throne she falls. To her throne she falls. There you are, Manuela. That's the old you. Ought to blow Gilbert away any day now. Huh?
Oh.
Gilbert, how long have you been there?
Since the beginning of your song. I'm sorry. I did not mean to disturb you.
I don't usually let others watch me practice. Do understand that I was just practicing, Gilbert. It was not a perfect performance, so I demand you erase it from your memory immediately.
I will not. Such a performance would be a shame to forget. You were even livelier than before.
Not again. How can you say that with such an expressionless... Gilbert?
What's the matter?
Gilbert, you're smiling. My goodness.
Your voice must have drawn it from me. Obviously, I was taken by your beautiful voice. And also, your impassioned form.
My form?
You won your challenge, my Lady Manuela. I concede defeat.
What just happened? I was only practicing, and a guarded, handsome, older man. And I'm the only lady who can raise a smile from him? Maybe you've still got it after all, Manuela. Maybe you do. Alois, what a pleasant surprise. Would you care to join me?
Ah, perfect. I was just looking for someone to dine with. Let's raid the dining hall, shall we?
My goodness, but you're in a good mood.
Manuela, I have some news. I received a letter from my wife today.
Oh?
My daughter just picked up a new skill. Can you guess what it might be?
Singing? Dancing? I've no idea what parents teach their kids, or why they even have children at all. Still, give me a hint. Fishing? Bricklaying? Cooking?
That's right. Spot on as always. My wife is teaching her the basics.
The basics of which?
Next time I'm home, my daughter will be able to cook me all my favorite meals. What a lucky father I am. Is any father in the world luckier than I?
I don't know. And I don't care to know.
My wife greeting me at the door. My daughter's nervous face as she sets the meal on the table. Oh, I'm so excited I bet I won't even be able to taste the food as I devour it.
Wouldn't your daughter appreciate it more if you took the time to savor?
Then I'll say, how delicious! That was the second best meal I've ever had.
Not first best? Shouldn't you encourage her?
Mommy's cooking is the best, but you're a close runner-up, darling.
Why would you say?
Oh, Daddy, I'm so happy you liked it, she'll say, as she embraces me, a big smile on her little face. Ah, what could make a man happier?
You've forgotten I'm here, haven't you? Oh, all I wanted was a dinner companion. What did I do to deserve this?
There's something I must discuss with you.
Alois, hello. You're looking more serious than usual. Is everything okay?
I'm in dire straits. Can you help me think of a gift for my daughter? Her birthday's just around the corner, and I can't think of anything to send her. Frankly, though I've sent her some wonderful gifts over the years, she never seems too excited about them. So, this year, I want to send her something special. Something that she'll gush about.
I wouldn't know the first thing about buying a gift for a child, never having had one myself. Now, I must ask you to leave the infirmary. I need to make room for sick and injured patients, who I am sure will arrive at any moment.
Oh, please, have a heart! Can't you help me at all? This is an emergency! I've been racking my brain. I have no idea what she might like, and time's running out. I thought that a young woman such as yourself might be able to help.
Young? Did you just call me? Could you repeat that, please?
Of course! Anything for a young, charming beauty such as yourself. I can think of none worthier of that description.
Well, your quite astute observations have inspired me. So, let's discuss your daughter's birthday gift.
Oh, thank you. In that case, will you come shopping with me when you're done for the day?
Very well. Now, let's begin with the simplest question. What does your daughter enjoy? What kind of gifts have you given her for previous birthdays?
Well, for the past few years, I've been sending her ancient coins.
Excuse me?
Coins, I said, from ancient civilizations. I've been diligently collecting them and passing them on. They're precious and historically significant. The makings of a great gift, don't you think? Is something wrong? Oh, you don't think an ancient coin is much of a present, I take it?
I'm sure that for the right person, such a gift would be exquisite. You know what, Alois? Don't you fret. I'll think of something that will make your daughter happy and make up for all of your other gifts.
I can't express enough how grateful I am for your help with my daughter. She was over the moon about the gift you chose.
Oh, wonderful. I would have expected no less after the effort I put into finding the perfect gift.
I even received a thank you letter from her. Would you care to read it?
I shouldn't be reading your personal letters, Alois.
Don't worry. Look who it's addressed to.
Yes, I see you here, and to the person who selected my gift?
That's my daughter for you. Perceptive. She can see right through my little schemes.
It wouldn't take a genius to figure it out after being sent dirty coins for so many years. Anyway, I guess that means I can carry on reading. Oh, that's a special girl you've got there. Your daughter really cares about you.
She does, doesn't she? That reminds me of when she was younger. She always used to...
I'm gonna cut you off, Alois. I don't have time for a story right now.
Very well, another time. But I would still like to show my appreciation. A knight never takes kindness for granted. What can I do for you?
Oh, there's a mountain of things I want, but nothing I can ask you to do. Reading your daughter's heartwarming letter was more than enough. I didn't help you out so I could have a knight owe me a favor. I just wanted to help a friend.
In that case, I hope my words of gratitude will suffice as repayment. I am truly thankful for your help this time, and the next.
I'm sorry, what do you mean, the next?
Well, my wife's birthday is coming up. So, of course, I'm going to need all the help I can get from my gift selection advisor.
Don't push your luck, pal. Alois, I'll never understand how someone like you can find love, yet I'm still alone. This is unbelievable. Why? Why does it keep happening to me? What's wrong with me?
Are you okay?
I was sure I'd be happy this time. Why, oh, why do I always struggle in love?
Please, let go of my sleeve.
If I let go, you'll just run away, won't you?
Yes.
Nobody wants to listen to my romantic tragedy. But I saw you, Cyril, and I thought, Cyril will listen, because Cyril is good people.
Okay, I surrender. What do you want to say?
I knew I could trust you, Cyril. You're such a good boy, such a good young man.
How can I help you? Is it just with listening?
Oh, it's a real tragedy, let me tell you that. Yesterday, I was hitting it off with a man I'd seen a few times at the pub. When I looked in his eyes, I thought he was the one. But then, well, we were drinking and enjoying ourselves, and all of a sudden, poof, gone. He just vanished.
I feel like I've heard this story before.
Can you believe he treated me so cruelly?
Yeah, this is all real familiar.
My heart is in tatters. I can't believe anyone could throw away a woman like me. Cyril, be honest. What's wrong with me?
You drink too much, blame others for your behavior, and you don't understand you gotta love yourself before someone else can love you back.
Maybe he wasn't for me anyway. If you're gonna take off after a few drinks, who needs you, right? I think you're too young to understand, but I also think talking to you made me feel better. Yeah. You know what, Cyril? I'm gonna come talk to you more often.
Manuela? What's she doing down there?
Ugh. What did I do to deserve pain like this? Alright. Same thing as always.
She seems fine. I ought to just keep walking. See no evil, right?
Stay right there. Cyril! It must be a little dollop of destiny meeting you here. Listen, you wouldn't leave me when I needed a little help, would ya?
Okay, what do you need?
That's my boy, Cyril. You're a saint. I don't want to be trouble, but get me water and medicine. Now, please. I feel a bit better now. Thank you so much, Cyril. My sweet, dear little Cyril.
Professor Manuela, why do you do this to yourself? It makes you feel so bad the next day, I don't see the point.
Oh, you know, sometimes I'm upset and... well, that's it really. It's not something a kid like you could understand. Maybe one day. Or not. Who knows? All I know is that my head aches.
Professor, isn't this stuff why you keep running men off? And them running is what upsets you. Then you do this all over again.
You can't understand heartbreak until you've felt it for yourself. But when you're older, your heart will break. And I'll make sure to be there. To get you water and all that.
That's okay.
You're always so nice and sweet, Cyril. I'll pay you back. Promise.
Nope, no thanks. No reason to. You don't have to do anything.
Oh, don't be shy. I'll be waiting in the wings for that little heart of yours to shatter. Oh, Cyril. What were you saying? I interrupted, I think.
I was just saying I need to get going. A lot of work to do. Lots. Okay, bye.